Okay, so we are in the end game now, and I remember I did not give it this texture because it would be a pain to UV unwrap this properly. So let's give it the same material as our couch. So, oh no, it's not working. Okay, so I put the order wrong. So okay, so now that is done. So upon second thought, I decided to give this a separate texture too, something similar to like this. So let's do it because it's kind of sticking out or looking ordinary. So remove this, delete it, and make sure generated is checked so that we see what we are doing, because we are not doing UV unwrapping, that's for sure. And for this one, in this color ramp, let's add a magic texture, search magic, and oh no, oh wait, before yeah, before we do anything, let me enable screencast keys while we are at it. And before we do anything, let's separate this and now remove our this noise texture and add our, make it to this and add our magic texture over here. So where is it? Damn it, I separated that. Let's undo it some more. Yeah, select this one, now do it properly, isolate it, let's see, yes it is isolated, thank god. And now switch it to generated. What did I do? So okay, remove this noise texture, we don't need it anymore, and add our magic texture here. So we will get this pattern of sorts, which I kind of like. So let's adjust the scale, let's make it something like this, and let's distort it while we are at it. Let's see what we are getting. And color ramp is like this, let's make it something like this, right? And for this second color in our color mix, we will make it to black so that everything else is prominent. And while we are at it, let's do the same trick, Shift E, and let's copy these two, Shift E. Let's reset this color ramp, black and white, and take our mapping node and add a wave texture. Color to factor. And before we can see anything, we need to add a mix shader. Make sure this one is at the bottom, this one is at the top, and this one is in the surface, not in the volume. So yeah, so let's adjust our mix shader, something like this, and let's adjust our color ramp too. I think I want these on y-axis, and yeah. And for this factor input, we will use a wave texture again. Sorry, wave texture, and let's assign a mix color over here too. Yeah, set it to mix so that it gets mixed over everything. And on y-axis, and this will give us these fine lines, these ones. You can see what I'm talking about, these small these thin lines, right? So let's, and this one is giving us these thick lines, and rest of the pattern is created by this magic texture. We can visualize it even more if we want to. You can see what I'm doing here, right? It can be anything, whatever we want. And if I put it to mix, you can see what I'm doing. Let's put it to multiply. So okay, so this is the final node structure that I went for. Magic texture, scale 2.5 and distortion a little, and then these are my color ramp. For first color ramp, for this one I used FFC4 hex code, and for this one I used 23201B. Over here we have multiply, color mix, and then for second wave texture I only changed this scale to 8.4 and y-axis. So this is just a black and white color ramp, nothing special, and this one is also on set on multiply, nothing special either. These are mixed via this mix shader, and then another mix shader, but this time it's set to mix, and our wave texture with a mapping set to generate it on y-axis, and scale is some 45.700. So yeah, this is our final node structure. You can copy it. So yeah, that's it. Oh, let me come back it. So this is something like this. You can play along, and I also changed this to a grayish value. You can see if I move it to white what we get, and if we move it to black what we get. We can also color these. If you change the color here, right, you can change it to any color you desire, like if you want it to be green, whatever. So but I'm happy with black or this darkish brown color. You can mix it a little, something like this, and depending upon where these sliders are, we can make them pop, something like this. So yeah, I'm happy with it. So now let's come back to our original video. For this one, we will add a new material, and we will rename it. Let's not rename anything. This would be a unique material for this one only. So for this one, if I am not entirely wrong, I think, let me see what I did. So for this one, we add a Voronoi texture. This will give us weird patterns, and let me see what I did here. So let's reduce this, the size, detail, roughness. Let's reduce everything. We get these weird things over here. Add our mapping and texture coordinate node, and while we are at it, add one color ramp 2 like this, and let's bring these somewhat closer to each other so that black and white values get separated like this. You can see blacks are over here, white is over here. And next, what we need to do, or what we can do, is add another Voronoi texture. So let's take this and add Voronoi again. For this second Voronoi, let's keep everything like the last one. Make it normalize to normalize will make everything from 0 to 1, the values, so that is usually helpful. So I think I put this at 3.7, rest were all the same. Let's make it so, and add our color ramp again. Now for this one we will use color, not distance, and we will use our trusty mix color. Yes, mix color, and let's give it into input A. Make this, I think I went with add, and And instead of mixing this like this, we will use another principal VSDF, like something like this. And for these two to merge, we cannot use color mix. We have a separate, because these are shaders, right? Principal BSDFs are shaders. These are textures or colors. These come under color category, and these come under shaders category. To mix these together, we have a separate mix shader. Yes, so same rules apply. This one I want to be on the top, so this will go on the first input. This one I want it to be at the bottom, so this goes at the bottom. And then we will put it into the surface, not volume, surface. So now you can see we have something like this. Weird patterns are getting mixed, and that is what we wanted. So let's add another color ramp over here and put it to mix, and let's try this. Let's see what we get. And I think for this one I went with wave texture, maybe. Yeah, for these lines. Yeah, so let's increase it a little so that it's not that visible. And yeah, I think we are done. So let me see what happens where we are. So let's see if we can make it better. This is the final setup, final node structure that I went with. I gave color to this one, mix color. You can copy it if you want to, these settings. And yeah, this is I gave color, this color 4C4549 hex code this. And for the second option, I went with D1C696, and these are basically the same, this one and this one. And for this wave texture, these are my settings. I just added some lines on x-axis, that's it. And yeah, so, and this is what we are getting. These first we created these spots, and then we made them, we highlighted these black parts, and then we created these weird soft lines like these boxes, and then we mixed it with this color mix, and we mixed this color, second color, and then we added a principal BSDF. Same way over here, you can see we are doing this. This is the second color we added over here. We can also make it white, but that does not look good. So yeah, so let's leave it be. And then we mix these principal BSDFs with a mix shader. And for these lines, we just in this mix shader we added a wave texture so that we can create these lines on top of these patterns. So this is how we got this weird design or different design. So yeah, that is it. And one more thing that I forgot to do, let me place my 3D cursor over here. Where is my 3D cursor? Oh no. So in face select, let's place 3D cursor over here. So if I remember, where is it? I think there was something like this. Yeah, so there's a plate and a bowl over here. So let's do that quickly. I think I created it over there, but I don't know, I have forgotten what I did. So G Y S. Let's make it something like this, and then select only the edges, and E, Z, inset it a little, and then E, and this. Switch this to image editor so that we can see what we are making. I think this will work. Let's select these faces, in face select mode, and let's scale these like on, where's my pivot point? Switch to median point and something like this. And while we are at it, let's slide these down, GZ, something like this, and scale them back. And let's add a UV circle, UV sphere, sorry. And yeah, we will just isolate it. Front view, vertex select mode, and we will cut it in half, just like this. Yeah, this gives us a very beautiful looking bowl, very high poly, but still it looks beautiful. And yeah, it's perfectly round, no need to do anything, no sub D is required. This is as good as it comes. Set origin to geometry, G Y G Z, something like this, so that it's going through our table. And while we are at it, let's select these top parts, top vertices or edges, and with proportional editing, switch it to sphere, and then let's scale it something like this. Let's try that. Oh, S, Shift Z, yeah, that is what I want. A beautiful looking bowl. And let's see in our camera view, how does it look? It looks okay. So yeah, that is it. And let's quickly make another copy, Shift D, undo that, and let's copy it, Alt D on y-axis. Alt D would make a instance, not another copy. So whatever we do with this original will also be copied to this one. So that's a handy trick if you want to save some memory. So let's give this a texture. I think our chrome texture for the time being. We will see what happens then. And this one, we will create a new material, name it glass, and then remove this and just search glass, and yes, we are good to go for glass. I think, let me check. So let it be, it's 1.520, so I don't think so that makes much sense, IOR for glass. So okay, this concludes our modeling part, texturing part, and yeah, we are done here. In the next video, we will take a look at how to render our scene. We will add some lights, and then we will see how we can render this.